Hi guys! So here I am doing something I said I would never do, which is making a YouTube video on my own YouTube channel. Like what? But here we are. But I wanted to talk to you guys and I figured that this was the best way to do it. Plus, I've had this camera for like a little over a year now, so I finally wanted to put it to good use. So I'm sorry if this edit is terrible. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring things out. I don't know what I'm doing, but I just saw it as like, if Jesse wants to sit down and get into this, then so will I. So yeah, Jesse and I broke up. I saw his sit down video and I found it to be a little cold, and I feel like it didn't show my side of everything, so that's why I wanted to do this video. I wanted to speak for myself and I wanted to show you and tell you guys what was really going on. You guys were there for me through all the highs and the lows of this past year, and there were a lot of highs and there were a couple lows. So I'm very grateful for that, and I'm very grateful for everybody's support along the way. So lately, yeah, the relationship has been rocky. There isn't one thing in particular that made us break up or anything. It was kind of a mix of a lot of things, a lot of build up over time. I feel like it came to a point where I didn't really know who I was dating anymore. So, I mean, we haven't really talked since we were at Lance's house. It was like the day after. We haven't really spoken since then. I feel like that's for the better right now. I feel like he has changed a lot since I met him back in May 2019, which is like perfectly fine. Everybody changes, you know, but I feel like his change was kind of for the worse. So I feel like it came to a point where I didn't even really know who I was dating anymore. Oh, I wish he didn't cut what he was going to say in his video. There was like a point where he was like saying something, he was trying to say something, and then he cut it and he said it was something like personal between us, and I would like really love to know what that was, because that kind of bothered me. So I don't know, that really bothers me. I really want to know what he said. When we first met, I didn't really know anything or much about YouTube. I've never really been into that kind of thing, so I didn't even know like what a YouTuber exactly was, but I found it to be very interesting and it sounded like a lot of fun, but I was still hesitant. I was in my last year of college, so I was trying to get things done on my end. I was really excited to become a teacher. That has been my goal for the past like 7-8 years. I was really excited about that. So me expressing how excited I was to finally be a teacher and get my certification, this is where things kind of went wrong in our relationship, and I didn't have the options that I wish I had. So he basically talked me out of the career path that I set for myself and that I've been trying to strive for the past 7 years. Just to do YouTube with him. Now, I was never really comfortable in front of the camera, and I found that a lot of people picked up on that, especially like in the comments or anything. So I was very hesitant at first about being involved, and I didn't know how that would look for future employers to hire me. But he kept pushing me, and basically I had to make a choice, and it was either to pursue my career, be a teacher, or quit everything and just be with him and do YouTube videos with him. And I feel like I don't know, I can't say that I made the wrong choice, but I wish I thought about it more, because he honestly, because he made me make that choice. It was either to be a teacher or be with him or nothing at all. So I couldn't be a teacher and be with him at the same time. It just, he was not having it. So long story short, I had to say goodbye to my whole career path that I had. All of my plans were shot just to be with him. I feel like because that happened, I wasn't allowed to have my own dreams and aspirations, whereas he can. So I feel like I was living his dreams and aspirations, and I feel like that wasn't fair. I didn't have a say. I couldn't voice my opinions without being wrong. So I had my own career path, my own way of making my own money, something stable for myself. But no, I had to throw it all away to, you know, be a YouTuber girlfriend and portray myself as a gold digger, and many other things that I read in the comments, just to make him happy, which in the long run, this is one of the reasons why we broke up, because I'm not happy. I can't have a voice. I can't have my own dreams and want to do them. I had to be that YouTuber girlfriend, and that was it. So I lost all my friends since dating him. Once again, I had to make a choice. I wasn't allowed to hang out with them. I wasn't allowed to see them. It was basically I had to be by his side all the time, which, like, the videos and everything were fun. I was able to meet a lot of his friends through the videos and YouTube and everything, but he still to this day has never been one of my friends. And then now I'm left with 0. And I think it has a lot to do with he doesn't trust a lot of people. So he doesn't know if they're being genuinely my friend or his friend, or they just want to be around just because of the whole lifestyle that he lives. It's really not fair. I didn't know what I was thinking. I wish I didn't throw away all my friendships that I've made all through college, and even some from high school. I literally only have maybe one left. So if you guys are seeing this, I'm really sorry that all happened. I hope you understand, you know, where I was coming from. I had to make that decision. You shouldn't have to choose between friendships and relationships. You should all be happy together. I don't know why this is an issue. We were always hanging out with his friends. They would always come over and chill. But when it came to, you know, my friends, it just, I wasn't allowed. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that. I wasn't allowed. So the lockdown happened. It happens. And I don't know what the heck he was saying in his video, because it wasn't just my decision to move in. We collectively came together and decided that this would be better for us if I was with him 24/7, just because of COVID going around. My parents were still going to work and going in and out of the house, and I'm not going to leave my dog behind. And what the heck was it? Like, my dog does not stink. He's great. If anything, like, he smells great because he doesn't do anything. He doesn't, like, run around outside or anything. So, like, he doesn't stink. Yeah, we collectively came up with that idea. It wasn't just mine. It was together. But as I said, like, we collectively came to the decision to do that. But I knew in the long run that if I said no, that I said I was going to stay at my house and he was going to stay at his house, and we were just not going to see each other during those times, then it wouldn't have worked between us, and he would have broke up with me. So that was another thing that I had to make the decision. So I feel like I had to move in there with him, and I had to move my whole life and everything over to him to make him happy. Because, like, especially in March, April, like, those were scary times, and I've never been away from family for a very long time, and those type of situations that come up, you want to be surrounded by family, and you want to feel safe. Obviously, like, I feel safe and comfortable with him and everything, but I wish I just also had that option to just see my family. So I mean, like, who cares about my happiness in any situation? I mean, come on. So yeah, moving in kind of rushed things for us a little bit. I mean, we were only dating for like 6 months at that point, and then you're like thrown together and you're like, make things work, live together, see how it goes. And like, it was great for a little while. But yeah, it was way too rushed. It was not what I planned to do. Not what anybody planned to do, especially with COVID and everything. But yeah, that was a mess. So after moving in, this is when I realized that he is obsessed with work. Before moving in, I would just like visit on the weekends whenever I could, and he would basically like try and shut off work as much as he can just so we can spend time together. But then when we moved in together, he didn't know how to like turn it off. So that's when like I realized this guy is obsessed with YouTube, with Storyfire, with the views, just work in general. He doesn't know how to shut it off. So like the trips and everything we had were great. They were fun. We had great time. But at the same time, it was all revolved around work. Like the Disney video, the cruise. I mean, the cruise, I would wake up early and I'd be excited because, you know, we'd be docking at some other island or whatever, and I really was excited to explore it. I've never been on a cruise before, and I've never explored outside of the US. So like I was pumped for that. I was super excited. But it came with workload. So after he woke up, he would have to do work. So that lasted a couple hours. So then by the time he was finished, we only had like an hour to get off the boat, go explore, take pictures and stuff. So that just like wasn't fun. I feel like that whole trip and a lot of the other trips were work related, and I feel like I wasn't able to spend like quality time with him. Work was a priority for him, even more of a priority over my feelings. I understand everybody has to work, everyone has to get things done, but he never learned how to shut it off. I mean, I could walk into a room and just start having a conversation with him and he would just bug out. And I'd be like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize what you were doing was so important right now. Like, it's happened so many times. I feel like I'm walking on eggshells when it comes to just having a simple conversation. I mean, we would go on dinner dates, you know, or just even personal conversations, and his phone was right there. And I feel like I didn't have his full attention all the time. So I'd be having a conversation, but I know he's thinking about the conversation that he's having on his phone about something completely different. So I feel like I'm never fully his, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to describe, but it's annoying. And I feel like, all right, as I'm talking and I'm saying these things, I'm thinking like, is he actually listening to me, or is he just spacing out? His brain is just everywhere at once, and it sucks. I mean, I know it sucks for him, but also sucks for the person that is closest to him and just trying to help him and be there for him, and he doesn't let you in, and that's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. He's a very private person and he doesn't trust many people. So even when you're dating him, those same problems are there. I mean, even his family can't even have a conversation with him. So many times I've seen his mom have to email her own son to just get to him, to have a conversation with him, or just to tell him some important family things, because calling, texting, and stopping over, it just doesn't. So the easiest way to get to him is to email. So that's like really sad. That's sad. And I've told him many times, like, Jess, do you not realize that's like not normal? And he's like, yeah, but I'm not a normal person. Like, I need to do these things. But I'm like, Jess, talk to your mother. Call her. Stop over. Like, don't email her. Email is business related. That blows my mind. If I ever had to email my mom to get to her, to get her to answer me, that's when you know that there's a problem. Along with being obsessed with work, there's another thing that he's obsessed with, and that's with Lance. Like, what the heck is that? That bugs the crap out of me. I have no words. I literally have no words. When it comes to being around him, he completely changes. And I'm like, who is this guy? Who am I dating anymore? And you saw how he was acting in that video. Like, that was all legit. That was him. Was that him? Like, I don't even know if that's him. Like, that was somebody else that I don't know. It's just a different side of him comes out, and every time I ask him about it, he just denies or just doesn't want to talk about it. And that's very frustrating. I'm your girlfriend. Talk to me about these things, and you know, how you're feeling, and I get nothing. I get a wall when it comes to that situation. And you saw how frustrated I get, and it just like, it exploded. It all came out of me that night. And that was all built up, you know, for a while now, and it finally came out. And it had to come out. It had to. There was no going around that. There was no going around that. So yeah, back to quarantine and work, the marketing push happened. So when that happened, Swift came over and he stayed at the house for a while. Now, I don't know Swift personally. This is before I even ever really had a conversation with him. I didn't know him. So Jess just like called him up and was like, hey man, like, you know, I'd love for you to come out, stay at the house and stuff. So then he came to me about that after he already did it, which it made me like feel like, what the heck? Why did we not talk about this? If I'm living here and you're having some other dude, some stranger, come live at the house, like I wish he said something to me before about doing that. So yeah, I felt uncomfortable. I felt like I couldn't be myself around the house because there was another stranger living there. I mean, I feel like anybody in that situation would feel uncomfortable. You know, I slowly got to know him and everything, but it's still very, very weird. And then even around him, he was always acting a little differently. That's Jesse, I guess. I mean, he's got multiple personalities, and I don't know which one I'm gonna get when I wake up. So although I felt uncomfortable in that situation, I wasn't allowed to leave. COVID and everything was still going on, so I was stuck there. I knew if I left, came home, he would have totally freaked out and probably would have broke up with me because he is so afraid of getting that disease, which I understand, everybody is. But I'm like, I miss my home. If I don't feel comfortable here, I know I'll feel comfortable at home, and that I so badly wanted to get my things and just go home. But he was like, no, I need you for videos. I need you to do this, that. I need dinner for us. We're hungry, like things like that. And I'm like, that time period was just stressful as all hell. So yeah, there were multiple times where I tried to sit him down and talk about things and talk about how I was feeling about certain situations, but I feel like he just wasn't listening, or he just didn't care. He just like, stop being a girl, you're annoying, you know, whatever. For the whole Lance thing, I finally sat him down. I was like, look, we gotta talk. I can't keep doing this. Told him how I feel about everything, and in the end, after that conversation, I feel like he did not care how I felt. He didn't care. Honestly. And I'm like, if you don't care about how your girlfriend feels, then why am I here? And that's something that I've been asking myself for a while now. So yeah, this is where the narcissism comes into play. He only cares about himself, the views, the videos, and nothing else. And I just don't understand somebody that's so obsessed with the videos and the views and everything. The things that he's doing now is literally killing his channel. And I've tried to have conversations with him about it, and he doesn't want to listen. He doesn't care about anybody else's opinions other than his. He always thinks, I know what I'm doing. You know, I don't need to hear it from other people. You know, what I'm doing is right. And I'm like, okay, but like, you need to hear these things because the channel is not doing that great. When bringing me into the YouTube space and having me choose this over my career, this was my job now. YouTube was my job, and it's something that I never thought would be my job because I was always the shy one. I was so afraid of speaking in front of people. Public speaking terrified me. This terrifies me. But I've gotten more comfortable with it. So that being said, when bringing me into that space, it kind of sucked because with him, it wasn't my stuff. It wasn't my channel. It wasn't my videos. You know, it wasn't my fame. I was just on the side. So I feel like I didn't have the right to have an opinion about how I think things should go. So when you feel like you don't have an opinion or a say in your job, you start to hate it. it just happens. If you feel like you're not feeling important enough and you can't have a voice, that's when you really start to hate your job. And honestly, I've really started to hate everything about YouTube. So yeah, like I'm not able to be creative. I was given a script, I was given lines, you know, I was given certain things that I had to do, a little to-do list, and I had to do them the way that he wanted them done. I mean, if you feel like you don't have a voice and you can't speak your mind about certain things, and especially if I'm acting them, like, and it's like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? You know? And I was never interested in the clickbaity stuff. That's why, like, I've always kind of stayed away from YouTube, because I knew it was all just, like, ridiculous. Some of the thumbnails people had, and some of everything was clickbaity, and I'm like, I feel like everything's a lie. So to see him going down that clickbaity path, you know, I would try to speak up and be like, why can't we just be real about these things? I mean, I know through, you know, the Psycho series and MVE, those were narratives, and they felt real. So I'm like, if those things made you who you are today, then why don't you want to stick to that path? I know it's hard to get views and everything, but I feel like that's just not the right way to do it, especially for him and what he's known for and everything he does. I know he doesn't like clickbaity things, so why are we doing clickbaity things? You're killing your channel. So another thing, with being involved with a YouTuber, being a YouTuber's girlfriend, I was told that I have to start posting more on all my socials. Which is like fine. I was never really into my socials that much. I had them. I always had Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. But I was never one to like post daily and everything. It was maybe like 1 or 2 a month. So I remember he sat me down early on and he's like, look, you know, if you're dating me, you need to be known. You need to put yourself out there. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'll take some extra pictures or whatever of my dog or like whatever I'm doing, and I'll post more. Like, that's fine. Then it kind of turned into like he wanted me to be somebody that I'm not. Be like this Instagram model, and I'm like, that's not me. That never has been me. Why can't I just be myself? I'm not changing who I am. I feel like I shouldn't have to. I feel like I'm good enough the way I am. So for you to tell me to take more pictures of, you know, my body and whatever, and cute and better looking pictures to upload, to share, it's not right. So I just didn't want to be somebody that I'm not just for him to get the validation. And along with that, I just felt like I was just some type of rebound thrown into YouTube. And that just wasn't me at all. And I feel like I couldn't even be myself around him, and I couldn't even be myself on the internet. So yeah, when being thrusted into YouTube, I had to abandon my career path, my friends, myself, my socials, like everything about me had to change just to make him happy. I'm done with that. I'm done. A huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders since like a week ago, because I'm like, am I allowed to be myself again? I don't even know who I am anymore. I kind of lost my way along the path of just craziness. I mean, it sucks, but I feel like I really need this time to sit and think, like, who am I? And what should I be doing with my life? So I feel like in the end, he didn't even try and fight for this relationship. I feel like the relationship was very one-sided. I was the only one in it. I felt like 90% of the time. I mean, I had to do everything for that kid. I had to cook, clean, you know, make sure that house is good, the dogs. I mean, he got Jenny, which I don't know why he got Jenny if he said he didn't like Mason and like how he smells and he's just like gross. Like, I don't know. So then, like, why did you go and get your own dog? I don't understand that. And the same kind of dog. I don't understand. If you're so busy, why have a dog? oh, I know, so I can take care of it. And he can work. Hello? So like the cooking, cleaning, like taking out the dog, that's fine. I can do it. I'm not incapable of doing those things. But I just wish that I felt appreciated for doing it. And I feel like I didn't get appreciation for it because he felt like those are the things that I should be doing and I have to do for him, which I don't have to do anything, really. Like what? So yeah, there were fights. If you want to see one of those fights, check out one of his older streams on Twitch because we did it all the time. And there you will see how mean he would be to me over like dumb things, like just have like rude remarks or like make me feel like I'm like dumb. Like I don't know why you would do that to your own girlfriend. You know, he would apologize, whatever, but then it doesn't matter if you apologize if you're just going to continue doing it. So yeah, things have been tough lately for him and I both. But we're gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay. Everybody's gonna be okay. I promise. We're all okay. So Jesse, if you're seeing this, I appreciate everything that you've done for me this past year, from bringing me into this world and meeting so many great people. I'm very grateful for you guys and your support. Thank you for listening to my rant. I know it was long. I hope it's not too long, but I knew I needed to get it out and I needed everybody to know the truth behind everything, and I feel like this was the best way to do it. I just felt like what he said was very cold and it did not show my side of anything, and I feel like you guys deserve to hear that. We were, you know, relationship is two sides. I'm not saying you guys have to pick a side or anything. Like, you guys are his fans, and I completely get that. So I just want to say ahead of time, thank you for being very supportive of our decision. And yeah, it was a very hard decision to make, very hard, but it needed to happen. Who knows what will happen in the future? I really don't know, but I hope he understands where I'm coming from. And it sucks that it had to take for me to make a YouTube video and make my own channel for my voice to be heard in our relationship, in our situation. Jesse, I'm sorry this had to happen. I wish you nothing but the best of luck, and I hope you find what you're looking for or searching for. So subscribe to me, comment your support down below. Let me know how you guys are feeling about this. We'll talk it all out together. I know this was a big video. Maybe I'll make another, like, a follow-up after this. There was a lot to unbox here, but that's it. That's all I have to say right now. Got some things off my chest that I needed to take off, and we'll go from there. Bye, guys.